Yo, it's your man Jam C,
It's your favorite Republican Lou.
and we are 2/3 of the squad
We
that pods.
we going vocal.
We
We're in a
go,
vocal patio,
yeah, it's like the vocal deck.
a vocal deck.
Yeah, something like that. Yeah. Shout out to everybody who continuously gives us feedback, good, bad, or indifferent every week. We really appreciate the love,
Definitely.
and I think that's really dope. As we grow, we hopefully you grow, because we try to enlighten people on not just our experiences, but experiences that's going on in the world.
Basically, we going vocal.
Talking because we got lips.
That's it.
That's what we
That's
do.
it. That's
So
it.
get your shit together.
That's it. That's it.
And if you love what you're hearing, or you want to hear something that you haven't heard people discuss on any platform, you can always reach us at goinvocal@gmail.com. That's GOINVOCAL@gmail.com. I
Right.
always like that to give me a reason to spell. I always like that. So how you doing, Lou?
I'm good. I'm good. No complaints. If I started to complain, I would sound very ungrateful. So
Yeah, you
no
gotta be.
need, no need for that. And no complaints, man.
Gotta appreciate the life you have, man. And which is why we decided to talk about this topic. Sort of like I won't say like a vent session, but it's just something that's heavy on my heart. And we was talking about this like a few weeks ago. Is when we accomplish things in life. The more, I guess, on the next level you get, you start losing some people, and it's not intentional, but people start falling off, and then they start telling you you're not acting black. I'll say that for lack of a better term. You're not acting black, and so I posed this question to Lou, and because it bothered me, because I hear it, and it's like, what the fuck do that mean? Like, what are they saying when somebody says if you talk a certain way or you don't talk black? I don't get that shit.
I think it's people that are when people say that, it's all because they're scared to grow.
Yeah,
They're scared to grow, and they're afraid of what, like, oh, you done moved up on the Upper East Side like George and Wheezy, and now you treating us like we peasants. No, it's not that. I just evolved from that situation. I choose not to indulge in that anymore. You
and then
understand
the
what I'm
thing
saying?
is, you're being told that, and you just showing up. And it's like, you just showed up. How am I acting any way? I just walked up, and this is what I get. This is the feedback I get back before we give each other love, before a love exchange. I don't get it. And I know people say, oh, that's hate, that's hate. But I don't even think it's hate, man. I think it's much deeper than
I
that.
think it's ignorance on their part, to
Yeah.
be honest with you. Because if you had a chance to just say live in a different neighborhood, right? And granted, you're probably in a neighborhood that people probably to the left or the right of you or across the street from don't even want you there.
Mm-hmm.
But my money spent just like theirs. And when people see that you're in a different neighborhood, a different zip code, you change your zip code, they feel like you've changed as a person.
Yeah.
Well, I've changed before I changed my zip code. That's why I changed my
Zip code, exactly.
You understand
Isn't
what I'm
that the
saying?
point?
That was the whole point.
That's the
But I'm
point.
supposed to change and stay in the same environment? Like, I don't get that. Like, I don't get it. And I'm not knocking anybody who does it. That's just how, that's just where you're at. You know what I'm saying? And maybe some people, not all, and I'm no knock to no diss to anybody, but maybe you don't think you can live in a different zip code. Or maybe you think you can't afford it. You never know until you try
Depending
it.
on where you at in your life at that time, because it's safe to say that, and I'll give a quote by one of our favorite MCs from a rap group that we all know. He said, and quote, "No matter how much loot I get, I'm staying in the projects." Now, when we heard that, I know, and I heard it, I thought, yeah,
Nigga, keeping it real.
yeah.
Nigga, keeping it real.
But the reality of it is when we first say that, we don't know where real money takes us.
Right.
You know what I'm
Got
saying?
no
So,
clue.
yeah, but when you get money, the last thing you thinking about doing is staying in the projects. You not staying in no projects.
No.
Not with real money, you not.
No.
Like street money, even with street money, you not.
No.
because of fear of retaliation and
Getting
retribution and
robbed,
everything. Yeah, and then you
everything.
had to burn some bridges to get that money in a lot of cases. So, but when you really evolve in your life, mind, body, and spirit, it brings different people around you. It creates new opportunities, new
Put you in different rooms.
yes, exactly, which exposes you to different types of information. You know, when you get new information, you just embrace, and then you, and without fear, you embrace that life in front of you. You go running through them doors. So you want better, you want more. The way I look at things is, when somebody comes from my neighborhood and they're blessed to get in another room, when they come back, I always think that that person is representing me.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Because they do. They in that room. You know what I'm saying? They came from where we came from, and they got in that room. So that means it's room in there for all of us to get there. And that's a motivational point that lets you know that if they did it, I could do it too, because we
Definitely.
came from the bottom.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. And you think about it, I think a majority of the people, when they do make a conscious decision to change their zip code, a lot of times people do it because of the kids. I
Yes.
want my kids to have a better
Better life.
education.
Yes.
I want my kids to grow up different than what I did. I don't want them to have the same struggles that I had. So you tend to make that decision based off of the kids.
Kids.
You know what I'm
Yes.
saying? Based off of
Absolutely.
your
Yeah,
kids.
that's motivation.
You know, and so be it. You know, I'm wrong for wanting my kid not to know how to duck and roll when they hit gunshots. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
As
Exactly.
opposed to, I want the kid to go out in the yard or go out in the neighborhood and play, and don't have to worry or fear of somebody having a shootout. You know what I'm
But
saying?
here's a fun fact, and you can attest this. Why do we say that to each other, but nobody's saying that about Jay-Z? We celebrate Jay-Z. We celebrate people like T.I. All these people that are in those rooms. We celebrate those guys that in that room and representing, not in the ignorant way.
No, but they do. I'm pretty sure they could tell their own story
Probably
in
so, but
regards to that.
I use that from, I just use that from the level of where we are, because we didn't grow up with them, and I'm sure people in their family are saying it. But
Hmm.
I use that because, let's say we don't say it about 50 Cent, we don't say it about these people, but we would say it about Will Smith. We would say it about, you know what I'm saying, like, because these people don't represent what we consider being broke or poor.
Well, I remember when Jay-Z um, brokered that deal with the NFL, and so many people had so much negative press about him
Yeah, you're
doing that.
right.
You know what I'm
Up until
saying?
that point, yeah, they did started
So
saying,
much
yeah,
negative press about it.
yeah,
You know, and
because of the Colin Kaepernick thing.
because and he looked at it like, well, if not me, then who? Because nobody else is willing to step up and take on the challenge of equality in this football arena and this type of a sport. You know what I'm saying? So if I'm willing to step up and take on a challenge in this arena, then why hate on me for doing that?
Yeah, and that was his way of changing the narrative. That was his way to get.
Exactly.
Colin Kaepernick did it his way. Hove did it his way.
Right, exactly. They did the same thing. They just did it in different
Ways. That's
you
it.
understand what I'm saying?
It's a case of Malcolm and Martin.
Yeah.
That's basically
Yeah,
all
yeah,
that
yeah,
is.
yeah,
He
yeah.
did it the way he felt he wanted it to be done, and in turn, even though he did get some doors open in that way.
I tell you one thing. When you do change your zip code, there's pros and cons in that.
Yeah, absolutely.
And you know, some of the pros are you have a better life, more comfortable lifestyle. You know, your kids have a better environment to grow up in. And then some of the cons to me, you don't get the good food you get in the hood.
Yeah,
You
no,
ain't getting
not
no
at all.
Jersey
No place.
fried.
It's no place to eat. That's the
You ain't getting
downside.
none of
No
that.
late night.
You ain't getting no
food
corner
runs.
store, nothing.
Now
None of that.
you reduce to like the Wawas and Quick Checks. So now those becomes your bodegas, and
Yeah.
those where you go where all the suburbanite kids go to eat, and
Mhm.
those packed little places. And I'm not a fast food person, so like if I gotta go out for the family, that's the place I have to go do the. I love tea, so I do a tea run, shit like that. But yeah, you're
You ain't
right.
getting no tea from the bodega, nigga.
No. Yes, you can. Yes, you can.
Not no good tea.
Not no good tea. You get the hood Lipton
get the
tea.
Lipton,
The Lipton tea. But I'm just saying for them, because you do Chicken Shack runs at night. I remember living in the hood. We would go to this spot called Giuseppe's. Used to have the Italian burgers for like $2.50 and a soda.
It's crazy. I just prior to coming to the studio, I went to the hood. Shout out to Sandwiches Unlimited because that time cheeseburger is everything.
It's everything, yes.
Everything.
Shout outs to them, yes.
Everything.
I remember those once upon a time.
Them joints stay consistent too. Over the years, they've been consistent.
Really?
Years. Yeah, so I haven't had one in a while.
They got vegan burgers now too.
Yeah, I'm not in that area as often, and just so happened today.
I think I'm a cheat day one day, and I'm gonna go get one.
Because the reality of it is, I wanted to go to the fish truck across the street from College Hospital, but it was closed. So I was like, well, I'm over his way, jump on 280.
Now look about him. Just use him for an example. He got the fish truck. We don't know where he live at, but let's say if he moved out the hood. To your point, maybe some people in his family probably would say he changed, or even if not him, they'll still respect him. But if he starts speaking better, using better diction in his words, instead of just saying, yo, you read, because read creates a new vocabulary.
Oh, yeah,
the more you read.
Definitely.
So, but instead of just saying that, we would just attack his personality because of that reason. I just never, that really bothers me even when I hear somebody say it, even if it's somebody that I don't know. And let's say us sitting here and somebody comes in to speak, and then I got the people I grew up with and they start attacking the way he speaks, or just saying, why he talk like that? He talk like he trying to be this person. Yeah, I never understood it, but I don't like it, and I really would wish that we would stop doing that to each other.
I think in reality, right? If you put everything in its proper place, if you gave everybody a nice piece of change, I don't think most people will stay where they're at.
Well, I hope not. Yeah, I would hope not.
I
hope not. I don't think so. I know they
then
wouldn't.
you may have a few that may
try to, yeah.
And they got a house full of Jordans and shit like that.
They're gonna get forced out. They're gonna get forced out.
Or they're gonna keep getting robbed.
That's what's gonna force them out. That's what's gonna force them out.
But I just think that everybody wants better.
Yes, absolutely.
Some people are just scared to change.
But some things like hitting the lottery forces you out. Because you think the average person in the hood that's poor, let's say they win a scratch off, they win $3 million, they gone. Regardless whether they want to admit to that or not, they are gone. If they move south, they moving in one of them little upper echelon condo areas where they could pay it outright and live off the interest of their money, but they're gone.
Yeah, I think that it's you gotta have that mentality of wanting better. And if you don't want better, shame on you. Not shame on you. It is what it is. But don't knock somebody else who do wants it.
Absolutely. Not at all. You commend them, especially being where we come from. Because people that grow, and what people don't understand is we still have to deal with the same things that they deal with. We got the issues with, and even in the community, because sometimes, to your point, they don't want us there anyway. So we stuck between a rock and a hard place. But we want peace. When we lived in the hood, we wanted peace. People in the hood want peace.
Right.
Everybody don't want hoopla and violence. The difference in the community, the difference in, I know for me, growing up with my peers the way we grew up, we had a lot of fun. It was always fun in that. It was a lot of love.
We did, yeah.
We wasn't on no microwave shit like they on now. Everybody's on some microwave shit now. Every day was humbling. Every day was humbling. But we always wanted more. So when we got to the chances to advance in life, some people adapted to the change and some people did not.
Right.
We still do have people in our life that really appreciate and are proud of us. But it's just the people that is what our children have to deal with, or our nieces and nephews, because we're all parents, some of us grandparents, we're still parents, and our kids end up, to your point, having a better life than we did. So now when your daughter comes around, your daughter speaks very well.
Yes,
so when somebody from our era hears her speak, they think, oh, why your daughter talk like that? And for you and for me, I would be upset. You might be all right with it, but I'd be upset.
It's so funny because her mother gave her an option. do you want to go to school where you go,
Mm-hmm.
all the white kids and Indian kids out here, or do you want to go to school around blacks? She was like, mm-mm. I want to stay right where I'm at.
Man, yeah,
You know what I'm
absolutely,
saying? I want to stay right
absolutely.
where I'm. But she goes to summer camp. She'll be going to the summer camp. Actually, it starts tomorrow. Um, in North.
Okay.
And her mother, that was a good call on her mother part, because she was able to get a mixture, a diversity.
Yes.
So in the summer you get
Your
your
culture
blackness,
enrichment.
right,
Yes,
and
yes.
then in the school year, the other 10 months of the year, you're getting your education, a different education that some kids don't have the opportunity
They
to
do.
get.
Yeah.
And I think she takes advantage of it. She does. She really, really does. And she has friends of all races. And
That's
I
good.
think and I think that that's where, as kids, we lacked.
Yeah, we didn't have that.
We did not
We
have
did not.
different cultures
Mm-mm.
that we grew up amongst. And I remember I think one of the shows we had, and it was in regards to having Spanish people even living. There wasn't really no Spanish
No,
people that lived in our neighborhood.
no, not where we grew up
It
at.
wasn't even
No,
no Spanish people that lived in our neighborhood.
no.
Um, the only thing now, you get a few bodegas,
Yes.
but they don't live there.
No, no.
They just
They
make their
just they
money
make their
there.
money
They
there
make
and they
their money
out.
there. They don't
Yeah.
live there.
And you're right. You're absolutely right.
We didn't have the diversity of different cultures, and so when we grow up, and now we're amongst these other cultures, we just have to learn how to be culturally sensitive
Sensitive.
to
Mm-hmm.
these other cultures, because we didn't grow up with this, so we don't know.
Mm-hmm.
And sometimes we tend to be in these other spaces and tend to put our foot in our mouth. You
And
know
vice
what I'm
versa.
saying?
But we definitely need to be more culturally sensitive to each other first and foremost. We need to, because to your point, my daughter, the same thing. She's away in college, and her whole elementary, middle school, high school was all wasn't us. It was a few of us sprinkled around, but it wasn't us. She had a so it was sort of a bit of not. She was kind of taken back because she going to a HBCU. So for her, it was like, wow,
A culture shock.
yeah, because it's like because even though her parents are like, we in your face, we fun, we loud, we could be loud, but because of our background, but we fun. So, but we know the limits. So
Mm-hmm.
now when you go into HBCU, it's like Spike Lee School Days. You know what I'm saying?
Definitely,
So
definitely.
so not to say she was taken back, but it kind of like she embraced it with open arms. But it was like, wow,
No,
because I don't think HBCU was on her radar at first.
nah.
Because coming from the high school she came from, which is a great high school, even though the kids in the school, we're loud and we're fun, but imagine having that full time all the time. So it's like she embraced it, like, oh shit, I love this. So we glad because we thought she was just gonna be one and done,
Mm-hmm.
but she got in there. She was like, yo, you know what? I don't think I'm ever coming back home.
Now, my daughter mother has been talking HBCU to my daughter for at least the past 5 years.
Mm.
You know, HBCU. And she's saying, listen, you could really go to any college you want to, but if you want me to pay for it,
Yeah, that's what it is.
HBCU.
See you.
You know
Yeah.
what I'm saying? So, but I just think that, you want, no one is, and if you, what is the definition of selling out?
I don't know. That's
What,
the whole point.
what's
Yeah.
the definition of selling out?
It's not what we in the community call it.
Well, maybe my definition is jaded. You know what I'm saying? But what is selling out? I mean, people, you grow, you evolve, and you want different things in life.
And it's for yourself first. It's for yourself and because understand when people grow, especially again, when you come from humble beginnings and you're around the people just like you, and that's any nationality because we're not the only ones. You think in the other communities or other ethnicities, I've never heard another ethnic group call somebody else a sellout. I think we do that the most. And I'm not again, I'm ignorant to other races because I only know mine.
Right.
But I can honestly say I work around a lot of different multicultural people, and we all discuss race sometimes. But I've never heard not one say that person was a sellout in their race.
Right.
I've always heard it from us.
Right.
Even in media, even when you look at when you look at all right, look at Eminem. Use Eminem. I've never heard another white person say Eminem was a sellout. And he came from the ghetto.
And I'm pretty sure he's heard that. I'm almost certain he's heard that
You think
on
so?
plenty of occasions. Yeah.
I just can't see
Because
it.
they're probably saying to him, there are some in that culture that are saying, why are you even singing that music in the first place? That ain't our music. You get what I'm saying?
I could
That's not our music.
I could beg to differ, but go ahead.
You know, I mean, again, it's speculative. You know,
Yeah.
I'm not 100% sure that this is what they're saying, but I'm willing to bet a fat man a donut that some people have said these things to him. You know what I'm saying?
Like they think he should be doing
Rock or heavy
Some-
metal
yeah.
or some shit like that. You know what I'm saying?
well he looks like a rock and roll kid, but I get what you're saying, but I just don't see it. I don't see it being like stressed in the way that we stress. Now, I know that we do that. Look at Malibu's Most Wanted, the movie. Now, you see the white guy acting black. Now, we would say that to him. But I don't see other white people saying, why you acting black? I don't see it. Not his peers. You know what I'm saying? Again, I'm ignorant to that part because it probably does happen. I just know with my culture, my people, it's everything times 20.
Mm-hmm.
Everything. So we really highlight it to a point where you not only feel it, you hear it.
Right.
Because we so in your face with it, it's blatant. It's to the point where sometimes your uncle who just came home be loud with it. You know what I'm saying? Like, why you act like that? You so, or when they get mad, that's the first thing come out your mouth. Oh, you think you this? With everything you do, with everything. Listen, I done experienced where I had a conversation with another guy, sort of like family to me. We was talking about, I forgot what were we talking about. It has something to do with where we stay and how you tip and your expectation where you staying at. And when you give your reasons of why you staying, what his comment was, and it wasn't to me, but it was said to somebody else, but I know he said it, was you think you white because you doing that, or that's acting white, or that's acting another race if you do that. But then I started questioning why. So I asked somebody else that, shout out to Mr. Talk, that I asked him, and he said that he would do the same without me telling him what I said. He said he would do the exact same thing. So I know it wasn't me.
Will I
That's
have the
growth.
same comment?
Yeah, he had the same. No, not the comment that I'm acting out. He said I would have tipped that too. He said this. He said this what I would do, and he said the same tip, the same amenities he wanted without me even telling him. And I said thank you. So I knew, okay, he's evolved. So I knew that the person that I was talking to hasn't evolved to that level yet. So, and that's the point I'm saying. When you get to a certain point in your life, there are people that look at you a certain way. So when you live at, it's very nice. So you live in there, anybody come there, Republic. Oh, that's why he Republican Lou. I see where he live at. You know what I'm saying? Oh, that's why he a he live around a bunch of Republicans. So that's what they would say. So they come to my place, it's the same thing. You know what I'm saying? So I just don't get it. I think we have to stop doing that to each other.
When you think of selling out, right? You think of the term Uncle Tom, right?
And I had an uncle named Tom too. That's the crazy part.
And Uncle Tom, if you think of the definition, you doing everything to help the whiteys or
Yeah.
the other race, other culture, right? But at the end of the day, when you think of the society as a whole, right? White people are the gatekeeper to any and everything that you're trying to do, whatever it is. They're the gatekeeper. So you got to work with them no matter what. Whether it's indirectly or directly, you're going to work with them. You
Yeah.
understand what I'm saying? Because we don't own enough stuff. We don't have enough connections and power to do it on our own. So we have to kind of go through them no matter how some shape, form, or fashion. We got to go through them. Whether it's getting a higher education through some of their universities, or even in some of the HBCUs, they got to give you the go to get through there.
Yeah,
you understand
absolutely,
what
yeah.
I'm saying? You know, they got to give you the go to
via the
get in there.
loans and
Right.
everything
All
else.
that other
Yeah,
stuff. You know what I'm saying? So, that whole phrase of Uncle Tom, maybe it was something that, people back then when they thought of the phrase was pro-black or whatever the case may be. And it was a different time.
yeah,
It was a different time
yeah.
back then as
I
well.
think the people that say it now don't even know where it came from.
No, no. I have a clue of what it means. You know what I'm saying?
No, you're right.
So I just think that when people say that type of stuff, I shrug it off. Like, to me personally, because what you say to me ain't gonna stop me from doing what I need to
Exactly.
do. Nor what you just said to me. That shit ain't pay the cable bill. That shit ain't pay the light bill. That shit
At
ain't
all.
pay the gas bill. That shit ain't pay the water bill. It ain't pay nothing. It ain't pay nothing. So why would I allow what you say affect how I feel or what makes me feel comfortable?
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying?
And as you should. The moral of all of this is be happy with who you are and love who you are.
That's it.
Cause you're never gonna be able to make everybody happy. What's most important is that you happy.
And as well too, don't be afraid of change.
No,
Like,
not
don't
at
be
all.
afraid of change.
You gotta embrace change.
These the other race, the other cultures. I mean, they're gonna be who they are regardless. You know what I'm
Yes,
saying?
absolutely.
They're gonna be who they are regardless, and you just be who you are. Like you said, love yourself. Just be who you are.
Exactly.
You know, stay in your lane. They gonna stay in theirs. If they cross your lane, demand your respect. You understand?
And
Respect is given once respect is given as it's given. You know
exactly,
what I'm saying?
exactly.
So you give respect, they get respect when they give it. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
And if they don't disrespectful, if they be disrespectful to you, you got every right to be disrespectful to them.
Exactly. And shout out to Sha Money.
Shout out to Sha Money, cause she would have loved this shit right here.
Yeah. Listen, we have some great things coming up too, before the year closes out. You guys are gonna be seeing us. Hopefully, God willing, we survive the next day. I will be doing my marathon in Clearwater for my birthday.
Nice.
So hopefully the whole squad comes down and celebrate your boy Jam C. And if you're in the Clearwater, Florida area between October 7th and October 8th, come down and check your boy out. I'm doing a half a marathon. That's 13 miles.
Nice.
Jeez. I think I need to get my shit together.
Yeah. Cause if you don't, you will be our next get your shit together, nigga.
Absolutely.
You will be our next get your shit together.
Which leads us to the best part of the show. It's the get your shit together moment. I'm gonna let Lou Bim start it off. If you got to get your shit together.
No, I definitely. It's a get your shit together, and it's a shout out at the same time, right?
Okay.
It's a shout out to the pregnant woman in Houston, Texas, who was approached by a guy who was trying to rob him, and he took his gun and hit her husband in the face with the gun, and she whipped out and let it go. She aired him out. She aired them out, and shout out to her for that. And the Second Amendment is real.
Mm-hmm.
People have the right to bear arms.
Mm-hmm.
My get your shit together goes out to the guy who started the shit. You know what I'm saying? Get your shit together. Know who you fooling with, bro, because you just never know. People is ready. People are ready, and then you got a state like that, that openly carries like that.
Yes, Texas. Yes.
You can't be going around starting.
No,
that,
fuck no, not at all.
You can't go around starting stuff. So, with that being said, the Spanish guy, Mexican, whatever, Latin, whoever he was, that started his shit, he need to get his shit together.
He survived, right?
I think so.
Yeah, dummies.
Well, he in the hospital trying to get his shit together.
Yeah, he ain't no choice at that point.
She
Yeah,
let that shit go.
My get your shit together, and I'm gonna piggyback off that. Is to all these young men out here putting their hands on these women, and not knowing there are repercussions to that. I think we need to get our shit together, the young men, and not put our hands on women for no reason, especially if they ain't putting their hands on you. Because I don't condone a woman hitting a man, because if you probably have a right to hit her back if the connection hurts. So, but
and she put you down.
Yeah, exactly. So, but I just don't condone it. These just words. You could walk away from that shit. You could call her words back and keep it pushing. But I don't. But you need to get your shit together just for that.
Right.
And you can always reach us at goinvocal@gmail.com. That's GOINVOCAL @gmail.com. And as for me, the fan favorite, your man Jam C, I could be reached at jamc_Goin Vocal, and that's
And
on IG. Hit me up on only have IG for now, but you can reach me on Goin Vocal on all other platforms.
you can reach me at Republican_Lou on Instagram. I'm on all platforms as well. Holla at your boy. And 2024 is around the corner. My boy Trump is starting some shit.
He's starting some shit. And shout out, reach out to Shy Money too at Bloomy's Girl on IG.
Mm-hmm. Well,
And we out, people.
peace.
Peace.
Everybody tune into the Pod Squad now.